When everybody looks at the position, people understand overwhelmingly that we have no choice. When the Office of National Statistics is telling us that more than 2% of the population is now infected, that's over 1 million people in England, and when today we've reported another 60,000 new cases, and when the number of patients in hospitals in England is now 40% higher than at the first peak in April. I think, obviously, everybody, you all, want to be sure that we in government are now using every second of this lockdown to put that invisible shield around the elderly and the vulnerable in the form of vaccination, and so to begin to bring this crisis to an end.
And we're now into a situation where across the country as a whole, roughly 1 in 50 people have got the virus, higher in some parts of the country, lower in others. But 1 in 50 is really quite a very large number indeed. If people don't take the stay at home seriously, the risk at this point in time, in the middle of winter with this new variant, is extraordinarily high. What is going to happen over time is the risk level is gradually going to decrease. It's not going to be, it's really bad and then suddenly it stops. We're going to essentially have the risk walking down a path. Things will be able to be lifted by degrees, possibly at different rates in different parts of the country. We'll have to see. And the government has made very clear that ministers prioritise education, for example, as one of the things that would go early, but that's a ministerial decision very much. But the things will be lifted stage by stage. And we'll then get, over time, to a point where people say this level of risk is one that society is prepared to tolerate, and lift, right down to almost no restrictions at all. We might have to bring a few in the next winter, for example. That is possible, because winter will benefit the virus.
We know that there will still be long weeks ahead in which we must persevere with these restrictions, but I want to give you, the British people, the maximum possible transparency about this vaccine rollout, with more detail on Thursday and daily updates from Monday, so that you can see day by day and jab by jab how much progress we are making. We think that with the vaccination programme we can do a huge amount to take out of the path of the virus those who are most vulnerable. That clearly offers opportunities to our country to do things differently, to approach the whole issue of non-pharmaceutical interventions very differently. So I'm full of the same optimism and fundamental hope about the position that I think Chris has adopted, that I think that things really will be very different by the spring. And that is what I would certainly say to every parent in the land. Provided we don't learn anything new about the virus that we don't yet understand, so there's not some new mutation that we haven't currently bargained for, provided the vaccine rollout goes according to plan, provided the vaccine is as efficacious as we think it is, but above all, provided that everybody follows the guidance now and everybody sticks to the measures that we have now, then we think that by the middle of February, when a very considerable portion of the most vulnerable groups will have been vaccinated, or so we hope and believe, that's the top 4 of the JCVI cohorts, then there really is the prospect of beginning the relaxation of some of these measures. The BBC is coming forward with a big programme of education for 3 hours a day. That will be something, but the government will be doing everything we can to help with remote learning.